We just got called on you recording. We want to know why.
It's a beautiful building.
Got ID on you by chance?
ID for what?
For me to check to see who you are.
Nah, I got nothing.
You got a name on you if you don't mind? What's your
When I
legal
was in
name?
high school, they called me Chocolate Thunder.
What's your real
right
name?
now? For what?
Because I want to check to see who you are. You're wearing a mask, being invasive.
Anything illegal in that?
Well, you're obstructing the sidewalk.
Everybody could walk by.
Let me get your first name.
You're not getting my name. Call your supervisor. Once you got out your car, you said I wasn't doing nothing wrong, and then you asked me for ID. What's your razz?
You have a mask on. You got shades on. You're recording outside.
You got shades on. You're recording outside of a bank too. You doing the same thing I'm doing. You don't know you got to have a crime to demand ID?
You know the law that if I ask you for ID, you have to give it to me.
Well, am I being detained right now?
You're not able to leave yet.
Lieutenant McMillan, 664.
Lieutenant, how you doing? Can you let your officer know that he just can't demand ID and put me under detention for no crime at all?
As long as you don't go in there and disrupt them, you can stand out here all you want and record all day long. There's no reason to identify you.
You ain't got to tell me, but you need to tell your officer here. So am I still under detention?
No, you're not under detention.
Be careful before you put people under detention.
Welcome back, everybody. As many of you guys know, I'm a law enforcement trainer instructor. I train and instruct military law enforcement all over the country on various law enforcement disciplines that include constitutional law, case law, patrol tactics, use of force. And as you can see here, I'm in a hotel room because this week I am teaching the advanced criminal investigation course for my state. So I'm on the other side of the state teaching this course at a VOTEC college. And so here we are. And so I just want to give you guys some insider secrets, if you will. And they're really not insider secrets. Anybody that, does half a second worth of research would be able to find the vast knowledge I'm about to give you, but people are unwilling to do that research. So here we are on YouTube, right? So let me just first off say, if you haven't watched my last video about what I would do to help safeguard my rights if I felt like my rights were being violated, I'm going to link that video in the description box below, and I'm going to, just have you refer to that. We're going to go over some of the same stuff, and we're going to do a reaction video to this video, and we're going to kind of break it down. But if you want the long form on that, there you go. This is going to be more of a summary of findings, if you will. But here's some insider secrets for you guys. Again, this is pretty common knowledge, but I bet you're not going to find this anywhere on YouTube. So here we go. The first thing I'm going to mention from this video, again, the officer said that he was detained. If an officer says you're detained, go ahead and assume that's correct, right? If they're telling you if they're telling you, hey, you're detained, just take it for what it is. Because if you're looking for some kind of legal remedy, whether it's criminal or whether it's civil, whether you're trying to go after that 42 USC 1983, if they're telling you that you're being detained, cool. We know, again, we've seen so many times on this channel, Brown v. Texas 1979. Boom, it's there. We get it. You need reasonable articulable suspicion in order for an officer to be able to detain and compel you, right? So we need reasonable articulable suspicion of criminality. Cool. So if that doesn't exist, bam, civil rights violated. And then furthermore, if they're going to use force, physical force on you, which if they're going to try to demand ID, that would would perfectly fall under Torres v. Madrid. Again, another Supreme Court case precedent that says that the single application of force onto one's body is a seizure. Cool. You got two right there. Bam. Next, let's talk about the word salad, right? Officers like to use word salad. I'm just telling you as an investigator, the first thing that I think of. When I start hearing cops use word salad and start using ridiculous words like, I'm here because I'm investigating a crime. You have to give me your ID because I'm investigating something. I was called out here. Are you going to go down this route, right? Do you really want to go down this route? When I hear ridiculous stuff like that, law enforcement, I'm just saying, this is coming as somebody who is an advanced criminal investigator, who teaches the advanced criminal investigations course, somebody who's an advanced certified police officer, somebody who is, routinely speaks in federal court, speaks in state court, as somebody who's entrusted with training law enforcement all over the country. You sound very unintelligent, right? To somebody like me, I look at that and I hear this word salad. And I'm like, this person has absolutely no idea what they're talking about. They're drowning. That's what I think of. I think you're literally drowning because you have no idea what it is you're doing. You are way in over your head. I'm just telling you what I think. I don't know what other people think. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. When you start hearing cops use word salad, but all these things are word salad, guys. Because at the end of the day, here's what it comes down to. Yes, can a police officer investigate whatever they want? They absolutely can, right? I can be called to a business or I can be called to a home for an egregious felony murder. Let's just take that out. Egregious felony murder, occurred here. I go there, the body's there, we have it, right? I have everything I need to have probable cause to believe this person was murdered. Does that mean that every subsequent person I contact afterwards, because I'm investigating this, I can compel them to identify themselves? No, that's an absolutely ridiculous concept, right? Absolutely ridiculous. I can't just say, hey, I'm going to this residence that happened on Hampton Street and, you know, there's a murder that happened. And then just based upon that pretext, I can walk down the street and every person walking their dog, I can just stop them and say, hey, I'm investigating a murder that happened on Hampton Street. You're on Hampton Street. Give me your identification. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous concept. And again, you may think this is funny, but this is essentially what this officer is doing. I'm here because I'm investigating something. Okay, good for you, man. Have a good one, right? The fact that you're investigating something does not mean that you can compel the world to do what you want them to do. It's just it negates itself, right? And so as we further go down this, amping things up with, do you want to go down this route? Yes. You know, and this is just, you know, this is just me. What I'm thinking is, forgive me if I'm being a little cavalier because I've been teaching all day, but sure, yes, officer, let's go down the route. Sure, I mean, why not? Let's do it. Okay, yeah, let's go down the route. Great, especially after in this video the officer said, well, I'm not saying you committed a crime, or no, you didn't commit a crime. So you literally negated any constitutional standing you had for the compelling of the identification in the first place. So again, everybody's different, but the first thing I think of when I hear a cop say, do you want to go down this route? Sure. I mean, it seems like we're already here. You're already violating 2 Supreme Court case precedences. So, I mean, why not? What's another one? Actually, let me do one better. Let me help you with this. We'll go down that rabbit trail in just a second. But the one thing that I will say that this First Amendment auditor, sovereign citizen, whatever you want, whatever that person wants to identify themselves as, I really have no consequence for this. But the one thing that I would just kind of ask, and as we're kind of going through this whole exercise, you know, this whole intellectual exercise here, why would you prolong your own stop by asking for a supervisor? This is something I don't understand. And for those of you that are in this First Amendment auditor world, sovereign citizen world, I advanced criminal investigator instructor, again, advanced degrees on this, law degrees on this. Honest question, why? You know, help me understand the why to this, because I really don't get it. I'm really having a hard time understanding. Why would you if you think law enforcement, and again, please, I'm being honest, help me understand. If you believe law enforcement is violating your rights, if you think they're detaining you unlawfully, why in your mind do you even think of going and asking for more law enforcement to come to where you're at? You're literally saying you're inviting more law enforcement to come there to you. You're literally saying you're violating my rights, but I want you to bring more people. You're actually negating the prolonging the stop, because now you're saying, no, I want to be here now. I want you to bring more people here, right? Instead of just allowing the time ticker to keep going, it's almost like you're negating that, because you're saying, no, actually, bring more people here, because I want to chastise you in front of them. I want them to chastise you. That's what I'm thinking. And from my standpoint, from looking at civil and criminal remedies, I'm like, well, why would you do that? Why would you prolong your own stop? Help me understand the comment section below. So number 5, kind of what I talked about in the last video, you know, my whole standpoint on this is, if a law enforcement officer wants to violate my rights, and I know they're violating my rights, again, this is going to piss off First Amendment auditors. It's going to piss off sovereign citizens. For those of you that are looking for clickbait and monetary gain from a YouTube perspective, I know this is going to piss you off, and that's fine. I don't really care. The most important thing for me is I want to survive the encounter, right? I want to do everything in my power to survive this encounter, and I want to create maximum gain for lowest risk. So maximum results, lowest risk. The best way to do that is for me to understand the use of force matrix, as you can see here in front of you. So I'm going to understand the use of force matrix. I'm going to understand that this is what law enforcement officers are trained to. So I'm going to maximize my remedies, both criminal and civil, maximize those remedies while reducing any possible risk of use of force. Best way to do that? It's kind of what I talked about in the last video. Officer, am I being detained? Yes, cool. So I'm already being detained. Great. So since I'm being detained, I'm seized, right? Because you're using physical force to seize me, and you're asking, compelling me to give you my identification. So that would 100% got Brown v. Texas, 1979. We got Torres v. Madrid. Cool, we're there. So this is really easy. From here, I'm going to tell the officer, hey, I don't consent to any searches or seizures of my person or property. With that in mind, I am not going to stop you from violating my rights. I'm not going to obstruct you from violating my rights. If you wish to violate my rights, my wallet's in my back left pocket, back right pocket, front pocket. This is where my ID is. This is where my credentials are. Again, I don't consent, but if you wish to violate my rights, and if you're going to violate my rights, that is where that stuff is. Please don't violate my rights. And since I am seized, and since I am detained, and since I am not free to go, I'm going to unambiguously invoke my Fifth Amendment rights pursuant to and in accordance with Burgess v. Tompkins. And I'm going to remain silent. While I do this, I'm going to have my hands on top of my head, fingers interlaced, and I'm going to stay in this position for officer safety, for safety of you, and safety of me, based upon my training experience. And then I'm going to shut my mouth. 100% I'm going to do it. 110%. There's no doubt. And again, I guess it's easy for me to say because I can easily, you get some random unintelligent patrol officer that wants to violate my rights. Yeah, go ahead. I would love to get on the stand and we can talk about his training experience, and then we can talk about my training experience as to why I made that decision. I wasn't detained. I was detained. I was unlawfully detained. I know based on my training experience that I was being unlawfully detained. I know I was being seized. I understand this officer's use of force matrix. I understand how you strain because I'm a use of force instructor. The safest thing for me to do was to interlace my hands on top of my head, allow the officer to violate my rights if he wanted to do that. And the best way for him to get my identification is for him to go in and get it himself, because by me digging in my pockets, that creates an unsafe environment for myself and for the officers. And I know this based on my training experience. Again, I teach constitutional law. I teach advanced criminal investigations. I'm a use of force instructor. Okay, I have advanced degrees in this subject matter. I'm a certified SWAT officer. I'm a certified TCCC tactical medical instructor. I'm a certified FLETC de-escalation instructor, right? So if you want to get me on the stand and we want to trade credentials back and forth with this unintelligent cop, I would love that. Please, let's get this party started. 100% would love that. Let's do it. And again, I know for those First Amendment auditors and for you, for you sovereign citizens, right? While this maximizes, again, redress of grievances, this maximizes legal and civil remedies, something like that wouldn't be fun for YouTube. Everybody would look at that and be like, okay, well, this isn't very exciting. Cool. So yeah, he literally unlawfully detained you, seized you, unlawfully reached in your wallet, took your wallet out, saw that you were law enforcement, saw your credentials, immediately realized that you're, advanced criminal investigator, agent for the state. And then they just were like, they apologize to you and let you go. Like, I get, because that's what would happen in real life. And I get that wouldn't be very exciting. But does it maximize my ability to go home? Yes. Does it maximize the ability that I'm going to survive the encounter? Yes. Does it maximize my legal remedies, criminal or civil? Yes. But does it make for a YouTube hit piece? So it is what it is. Just some insider baseball for you guys. Again, forgive my cavalierness. And I've been teaching for the last 2 days, long days, full days. So I just want to put this video out there for you. But tell me what you think. I'm interested to know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think I'm onto something here? Do you think that I'm not onto something here? More importantly, I want to know, how would you handle this? Honest question. I would love to know how you guys would handle this, how you guys would handle being detained. Are you going to go all in? Are you going to call for a supervisor? Are you going to prolong your stop? Are you going to be mean? Are you going to be rude? Are you going to be disrespectful? Or do you think there is some merit to what I'm saying? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, guys, long live the Republic.